Prove Them Wrong by bubbly_writer. Read by Ms.Mushroom. Prologue. Outside perspective. Izuku was walking home from school after another day of school. Katsuki wasn't going easy on him today. It was insult after insult, hit after hit. Told him to take a swan dive off a roof. No one was home to reassure him now, to tell him that everything was going to be alright. That one person died. His mother, Inko Midoriya, died in a car accident that day prior. Izuku was going to have to go in the foster care system. He couldn't. It was a nightmare. If it wasn't his mother, he'd go home too. Then he didn't want it. Everything was ready. He was leaving. He has all the money they had left. He was packing it up along with some warm clothes. A few of his notebooks and his plushie. The plushie his mother gave him when he was 5. He had to walk the same road as Bakugo, so he ran. He didn't have the energy for anything. The blonde had to say. He didn't care if he'd insult him. He wasn't seeing him again anyways. Izuku ran right past him. "Nerd, don't you fucking dare walk in front of me," Katsuki yelled at the smaller boy, who ignored him. When he got to his house, there was a car. The Child Protective Services were already there, who climbed on the side of the house, careful not to be seen, and grabbed his duffel bag and changed in more comfortable clothes. Changed in more comfortable and warmer clothes. He climbed out of his window and ran. He didn't have a destination, but word about his disappearance will get around quickly. It's a small town after all. Lucky for him, most of them didn't care about a quirkless kid. They said he was just a burden to society. They weren't wrong. That's what he kept saying to himself, at least. His mother wasn't there to tell him it was a lie and that he could change the world if he wanted to. But why would he want to? His only life goal is unachievable. To become a hero. He doesn't have no one to hold on to. He thought of dying, and as much as it sounds satisfying, he didn't want to deceive his mom. It was already a disappointment. He couldn't let all her hard work disappear. He also needed to not let them win, to prove them all that he could be a hero. Maybe not to fight villains, but he can still help save others. He continued running, not caring where he was heading. It must have been hours. It was late. The sun was getting down. He looked around and found a convenience store. It looked clean, so he walked in. A sandwich should be more than enough. He went inside and took a 1-liter water bottle and a chicken sandwich and some nuts. He went to the cashier, who looked half dead. "Hi," Izuku mumbles, giving him what he was holding. The man gives a half smile and scans the articles slowly. While he was doing so, Izuku looked at the TV above them. He saw a picture of himself and he was declared missing. $13. The man brings back the boy from his trance, and Izuku hands him the exact amount of money before putting everything in his bag and leaving. He puts his hood up and walks away. He needed to find anywhere to sleep. He found a small park that had a playground. He went in one of those tubes between the two parts of the playground to settle for the night. He was cold, but he didn't care. He felt safer, and the wind was blocked where he was. He put his bag down and took out his sandwich, and slowly ate it, trying to make the moment last. He also drank some water, and he was satisfied by his meal. Izuku took out one of his hoodies and used it as a blanket, and the duffel bag as a pillow. He took out the plushie and held it close. He was scared. Someone would come take his stuff. Like in those movies or those books. He put some of the money inside the little pocket of his plushie just in case. He was tired, exhausted, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't sleep. Bakugo was worried. Izuku had acted weird all day, and when he yelled at him earlier. He didn't even took a glance back at him. He was terrified of the idea of his childhood friend killing himself. That he'd listen to the words Katsuki said, the same words he regretted the second they came out. He reassured himself, saying that Inko won't let him do anything too stupid. That's what he wanted to believe. He got outside his home, taking his shoes off, quickly throwing them somewhere in the entrance. "I'm home, old hag," he yells, going in the direction of the stairs, but he stops hearing sobs. He was confused and slightly worried, so he followed the sound, and it brought him to the dining room. Mitsuki had her face in her hands, crying. Katsuki, how is Izuku?" His mother asked between sobs, making Katsuki frown. "I don't know. Why should I fucking care?" he asked, annoyed and confused. "I know you two grew apart, but I think you could see if he was off," she points out, irritated, but her voice was broken. "Yeah, he was. Now, would you fucking tell me why you're fucking crying?" Katsuki asked, frustrated. He didn't understand shit of what was happening, and he hated it. "I just had a call. They're looking for a foster home for Izuku since Inko died. They want to know if I'd be willing to take him in," she explains, and Katsuki's eyes go wide in panic. Unlike what he thought, Inko wasn't there to stop him from doing something stupid. Hag. Taku went up by his window earlier. He left by there too with a bag. I didn't think much of it, but Katsuki didn't have to finish his sentence for her to understand. Mitsuki couldn't blame Katsuki for not knowing, but she was panicked and took her phone to do a call in another room, which only left a worried and guilty Katsuki. He didn't want Deku to die. He couldn't lose him. Why did he have to have such an ego? If it meant he'd lose those he loved. He never should have took Izuku's presence for granted. A life without Izuku simply felt impossible. So impossible that he never even considered it as a possibility. That is prologue for this series. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this. This series at least has, let me check real quick, 56 chapters plus epilogue, so hope you guys do enjoy this series. And I am still doing the Ready and the Mystery Boy series. I just haven't found much eagerness to go read that for a while, but yeah, this is prologue to prove them wrong. So I hope you guys did like the series, or the prologue to the series. So yeah, sorry to this also didn't come out on Friday. Ended up falling asleep, so it's getting out today. A bit later than I'd like, but it's at least I'm getting this out now. But yeah, hope you guys do enjoy this, and yeah,